Michael Kroll, also a Dallas police officer. Lauren Ahern, also a Dallas police officer. And the carnage continues. Michael Ventura, he was from public safety officer from Wisconsin, Salem, Wisconsin, killed in action. Two deputy and bailiffs from Ronald Kinzel and Joe Zangaro, and there were bailiffs killed in that incident out in, I think it was Minnesota, where the inmate got a hold of a gun and shot both of them to death. Police officer, another police officer is Anthony Zarette, killed in action. He was from the Bel Air Police Department, Texas. That's quite a few. We have firefighters also killed this week. We've had a lot of really major fires in the western part of the country, and we've had some casualties as a result of that, and a few others from other places. Lancey Crawford Sr. was killed in action fighting a fire, Plainville Fire Department, Plainville, Arkansas. Another firefighter killed in action was Jacob O'Malley and also Will Hawkins. They work for the federal government. They were firefighters. They were fighting fires out there in the western part of our country. It's a pretty bad situation out there. Another firefighter killed in action was Tim McClanahan, and he was from the Lewis Volunteer Fire Department, Lewis, Delaware. Another firefighter killed in action was Richard Zonrosi. He was from the Eatontown, New Jersey firefighter. And that concludes the casualties. That's probably as many as we've had in any one week in terms of firefighters. Fortunately, no soldiers, Marines, sailors, Air Force, Coast Guard have been killed this week in action. At least none that we got. Sometimes there's a delay, but don't like to have weeks like this where we have that many casualties. Of course, a lot of them from Dallas. But besides Dallas, we continue to see high numbers of police officers being killed every week. And I think there's a reason for that, and we may want to talk about it later. But in the meantime, we'll pay our respects.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Thanks, Larry. Appreciate it, guy.
Howdy.
What is it? What am I hearing?
My phone.
Oh, okay. I always hear these sound effects. I don't know if I'm hallucinating. I probably am. And Joe's a mirage, obviously.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah. We were just talking. I started to talk about all the police officers, firefighters, but there's been a definite uptick. We've been talking about it for over a year now. Uptick in law enforcement officers being killed, and everybody's pointing fingers, but particularly the news people are pointing fingers. But they ought to really look in the mirror, because they're the ones sensationalizing a lot of this.
Oh, yes.
And I have to
I
tell you.
mentioned that to Larry yesterday, matter of fact. I said,
Did you?
It's just, it's important, don't get me wrong. It's tragic. It needs to be addressed, but they just stretch it every drop thing. And it's like, I'd rather have news about somebody stealing a push cart right now than that. It's
Well, they're taking these 10 and 20-second videos. Okay, listen, and I don't mind you talking about, but they play them and replay them. And, I mean, even when you watch them, as upset as you might get about them, I understand it's not the whole story. But some people can't discern that. So they're sort of stoking the hatred.
it desensitizes you.
Yeah, and it's about ratings. In selling,
I don't. Yeah, well.
Well, I'm sorry that it is. I mean, I'm sorry to say that about them, but it is, and they could care less about the consequences. Hey, I get a story. I'm going to get my name in headlines. I'm going to be the reporter of note, and I'm going to get a lot of mileage out of that. And my station is going to get a lot of business. The ratings are going up.
It desensitizes. It desensitizes the
well,
people.
it's really sad, and as I said, everybody's talking about who's at fault, but I think one of the major players is the news media. I mean, I think they've overstepped their bounds dramatically. But
Well, on a lighter note, let's talk about our sponsors.
well, why don't we do that?
Why don't we do that? Bob Wines, you're a gardening expert since 1952.
I do know them, and
yes.
I buy plants through them.
Me too.
And they're still alive.
And they're still
remarkably.
alive and
Yeah.
kicking there, and they've got all your answers for your gardening needs. If you've got a question about gardening, they've got the answers. They have more than just that's henceforth the name.
Well, how do I find Bob Wines? Where are
Bob
they?
Wines is 2610 Southeast 38th Street, right here in Ocala. As it says, when it comes to landscaping, Bob Wines has what you need. Everything from small plants to large trees, mulch, fertilize, and so much more. Bob Wines will even deliver, plant, and guarantee their trees. Bob Wines Community Gardens and Nursery has been keeping you blooming, like I said, since 1952. Contact number, we'll give them I'll give them a call, 629-5766. 629-5766. Remember, if you're a veteran, you get 10% off with proper identification.
And what's that location? One more time? Where are they located?
2610 Southeast 38th Street, right there in Ocala. If you go
It
down
is.
441, you go to that little hook. You go over the railroad tracks, take a right by the car wash, down about a half a mile down on your right.
No, I come up the other way. I come up from Merricamp Road
Oh, there you go. You
and go right down.
All roads lead
All
to
roads to
Bob
Bob
Wines.
Wines. And you know what? They should. Right?
We're going to take a break.
We are up to the break, and we'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy today. A thunderstorm around this afternoon and evening. High 89 to 92. Partly cloudy tonight. Low 72 to 75. Tomorrow and Saturday, sunshine and patchy clouds. There'll be an afternoon and evening thunderstorm in some places. Highs of 89 to 93. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Heather Zayer.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
This is the beat of a normal heart. Now this is the beat of a heart of someone who just snorted or injected or smoked methamphetamine. Why? For a high. And this is what happens to that normal heartbeat. It's irregular, it's racing, it's why it's called speed, and it can do bizarre things to our heads. It can make us aggressive and violent. We can start hallucinating and end up doing some serious damage to people. Call 1-8888-NO-METH today for more information on methamphetamine. That's 1-8888-NO-METH.
A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free Florida and America.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Marion, and learn how they can help you.
New windows will beautify your home and bring you immediate energy savings. Renewal by Anderson of Central Florida leads the way in quality and installs the name brand homeowners trust. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for a free in-home consultation with the pros. Right now, buy 4 windows and get the 5th free. Plus no money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments for 12 months with approved credit. Visit renewalbyanderson.com. That's renewalbyanderson.com. Offer ends July 31st. License CGC 1523333.
WOCA,
Hi, this is Mayor Kent Gwynn. Have you ever wondered what the younger generation thinks? Well, here's the chance to find out. The Mayor and the Millennials coming soon to WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. The Source.
1370 WOCA.
All right, 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's return to Veterans News with Hank Whittier.
I
Hank?
don't know what's going on. I just own the place. I don't know what's going on. This is driving me crazy.
Yeah, well,
Not
that's
that far to go.
There's no one who would argue that, Joe.
I gave you ammunition.
Well, thank you. And I use every round. You know.
You do? Oh, yes. Yeah. Then you reload.
I have a habit of doing that. You know, I heard about the mayor, and I guess you got some sort of a broadcast coming up with him, the mayor and the Millennials. You know what that's about, Larry?
No, I do not.
Okay. See?
I don't feel
so Larry
bad.
doesn't know.
I don't know.
We'll ask the program director when it comes.
Well, I talked to the mayor's office yesterday. They called me. Actually, you know,
They answered your call?
they did. They did. No, actually, they called me.
Oh,
But,
you're in deep trouble
I mean,
now.
I am. It's about something about back taxes or something. I don't
As
quite
usual.
get the whole thing. But seriously, he's responded very well to veterans. As a matter of fact, what they were calling me about is they want to honor a World War II veteran, a 98-year-old
He's got to
World
be
War
up
II.
there.
Yeah, well, this guy's older than most. He's 98, apparently did serve with distinction. So the mayor's office is looking for a way to honor him. We'd kind of come up with some ideas on it. But
Quickly.
quickly. But, it's about the fifth or sixth time that his office has done that in terms of reaching out to other veterans groups to say, hey, look, we've come across a veteran through his family that I'd like to do something. You guys have some suggestions. So he's been right in there with the veterans issues.
Who's that gentleman that always comes to our events? Bob? Is it Bob? He's up there in age.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I know, World War II
neither
veteran.
do your listeners. They have no idea who you're talking about either.
Is it Jim Phillips?
Not Jim Phillips. No.
I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of
Really gets me. He still fits in his uniform.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Jim was in the other day, our World War II vet, 93 years old.
Oh, there, maybe that's the one.
And Jim's just a great guy. Yeah, Jim wears his uniform all the time. That's the guy that, Jim was sunk in the South Pacific or the Pacific by kamikaze. So that's Jim. He was in the other day. He's doing well. He's remarkably healthy for his age.
I know.
Still driving. But anyway, the point was, I was talking about some of the politicians in town, and the mayor is one of them. And again, he's been very positive with us, and the city council has too. City council is putting up those parking spaces for veterans only and disabled people.
Where's this happening?
There's a couple of them around town. They're sort of expanding it, that they want veterans to have a parking spot, and like at City Hall and some of the other places. So.
Did you see the story about the lady who parked in a veterans-only parking space and came out to find a note that said, "This is for veterans only," and she was a veteran?
Oh, is that right?
And she made this. She wrote this letter to complain that you just because I'm a woman, you didn't think I was a veteran. So
really, yeah. Well, I can see that happening. It's just
That's the old stereotype.
It's like the handicap spot. Sometimes you see someone walking in. Well, that doesn't mean they don't have a heart condition or some ailment that you can't see that's not readily visible to you. They got the handicap sticker. I'm okay with that. But you're right. There's an assumption that all veterans are males. Wasn't ever true, and it's certainly not true today because a large percentage of current people serving are females.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's, a couple of the recruiters in town are females, and they're doing a great.
That Marine.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her to run in the Don Harrison 5K, 10K thing.
Everybody will be about 10 yards behind her.
Yeah.
She is solid.
Is that the lady across the street?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. You have not met her. She was at the boxing match. The
Oh,
one
I know who you
the
mean,
one
the
that was
young
in the
girl.
ring. Yeah,
Yeah, she's on the-
She is-
Sergeant Munoz.
She makes Marines proud, I'll tell you what.
She is a great example, honestly.
And there's another lady across the street that says she knows you.
Who owns that store?
And she admitted it, too.
Yeah. Well, that's because she's suing me also.
Oh, well, hey, there you go.
I have a lot of those sort of lawsuits out there against me. But,
Once a Marine,
a lot of
always a
good things
Marine.
happen. The reason the guys aren't here today, Gary and some of the other guys, they're up at riding horses, Therapeutic Riding. They're up there at the Stripes and Saddles, they call the program. The one right across from Ocala Highline. So we've hooked up with them to offer veterans, particularly combat veterans who are suffering from PTSD, some therapeutic riding. So we've worked out a deal with them where we can get up there and ride. So we got 4 or 5 of them up there today riding for a couple of hours. So they'll come back a little saddle sore, but that's okay.
That's all right. Something to talk about for the rest of the day.
Something to talk about for the rest of the day. And we may get you to ride. We
Walk
can't,
like John Wayne.
Yeah, we can't. Maybe we can get a Clydesdale or something to.
Yeah,
teach
something
you to
big so
ride.
my feet don't drag.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a good program. We just got that started, and
another program from Vets Helping Vets.
yeah. Well, we try to do as much as we can. We try to reach out. We try to find things because not every program works for every vet. So you try to find a way to fit the need that's out there. And there's a lot of needs out there. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes the wheel is there. You just have to find a way to work with your wheel, and you know what? You move forward with it. So it's been a good program. We've been happy with it. It's just got started. Today's actually the first official day to ride. So Gary and Jose and some of the troops are up there today. I'm not riding. Not riding. City boys don't ride. I'm not riding.
Well, he rode bulls,
Yeah, he's full of bull, not rode them. What's wrong with you? How's the program with the courts doing, with the Vets Helping?
Oh, it's going outstanding. We've got about 29, 30 veterans in the program. We really could use some more volunteers. We're picking up
mentors.
Mentors, yeah.
Want to explain to the folks?
Well, the mentors, basically these are folks who get themselves in some relatively minor trouble. Did something stupid. But the judge and the state's attorney and the public defender and we think that they're worth saving and not have that hang over their head all the rest of their lives and stop them from getting decent jobs. So what we do is we put them through the program, we enter them into the program. Everybody's got to be in agreement that they're a good risk. So if they agree to abide by the terms of the program, which usually takes a year, there's all kinds of sanctions.
Well, it's better than jail time.
It's better than jail time. But if they complete it successfully, then those charges are no processed and
not on their record.
Not on their record, and they can go out and get themselves a job or continue
surprised.
working. And you know what? You'll be surprised how that can impact your life. So, I think it's been very, very successful thanks to Judge McCoon and the state's attorney's office, particularly Pete Brigham from the state's attorney office, and so Brad King have been particularly supportive of that. They've been really great.
Now,
and
where's
the
this?
judge
Where?
has been outstanding. Right here in Ocala.
Right here in Ocala, it's happening.
And this has been one of the first. I think we were the 6th in the state to do it. And now I understand there's about 15 or 20 doing it around the state. So
I think
hopefully
behind the scenes that people really don't know it's available for the not so bad.
Yeah, these guys
make dumb mistakes.
and women too. We've had a few women. I mean, they've done some stupid things, but that's what they are, stupid things. I mean, usually because they've been drinking or something, or just some sort of a misunderstanding. And again, they're relatively minor things. Now, if they don't complete the program successfully, they're going to jail.
Dumb again.
Yeah, they're going back to jail.
Sure.
You're giving them an opportunity, and that's what the mentors are doing. The mentors are guiding them. You're not their friend, but you're their mentor. Hey, this is what you need to do to keep them on track, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. So if you're interested in volunteering for that program, and we've got some great volunteers, it's a great camaraderie going on.
You're
and
not
again,
a
it's
probation
veterans,
officer, you're a mentor.
You're a mentor. And it's veterans working with veterans again. So if you're interested in doing that, just call our office, 433-2320, and we'll get you started on that. So we've got a lot of different programs going. We're still working with the kids in the forest and kids at risk and all that stuff.
Homeless veterans, how are we doing with that?
Yeah, we're doing well with the homeless veterans. The VA, I told you, the VA has done a remarkable job, a big turnaround in ending homelessness with veterans. It's not complete, but it's a lot better than it was 5 years ago. So that's a program. And there are other folks in town doing the same things. Ours is more emergency housing and sort of intervention and trying to get them pointed or at least housed in a different direction. VA has got some programs through HUD. And then there's some other, Volunteers of America have programs, and the Salvation Army has a program.
One thing about Vets Helping Vets, their operating procedures and their operating budgets. You're taking approximately 15 cents, that's at the top end of $1 for operating costs.
Yeah,
the rest goes straight to the veterans, not like other organizations that flip that around. But I usually don't say this on the air, Hank, but the job that you do have started 1997 and on. All the people that are involved are outstanding, but we need help. Vets Helping Vets doesn't run on a whim. We need sponsors. We need someone that's going to say, yes, I believe in Vets Helping Vets. I might be a veteran, or someone in my family's a veteran. I don't think anybody out there doesn't have someone somewhere that's connected to the military.
Yeah, well, you can't do it without the support of the community, without support of businesses, without support of individuals. That's what it takes, And we get money from, obviously I write grants.
Right.
And we do okay with that, but that doesn't cover all the expenses. And, the goal is to continually drive down that that overhead cost. You got to keep your lights on. You know, you have to pay some people.
But we're nowhere near these gigantic things that have millions of dollars in the banks sitting there.
Oh, I agree.
The money comes in and the money goes out. It's the one thing that I'm proud about, Vets Helping Vets. You just don't sit on the money and say, oh, we'll just collect the interest. For what? You're there to help the veterans.
Oh, no, that doesn't happen. And, the money set aside, we budget so much per month, and when it's gone, it's gone. And sometimes there are months that you can't, legitimate folks coming through the door, you can't serve them. You like to serve them, but the budget's gone. I mean, you just, you could go through that whole budget, because we don't have a big one. You could go through it in a month and and what do you do the rest of the year for people?
Well, we don't have all these movie stars saying, hey, come use Vets Helping Vets. We don't have the bucks to, I don't want to say buy them, but pay them. I'm presuming they're getting paid to do those?
They are getting paid. Most of them are.
Do you know what? I was going to ask you a question.
Sure.
There was a story this morning, and this is like one of many. In this particular one, I got off the stream, but somebody was offering to give, I think, $10 million to veterans if Donald Trump would publish his IRS tax returns. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not really focusing on that. I'm focusing on the fact that you hear that all the time. People will say, I'll give this to veterans. They're using veterans like a playing piece.
Like a pawn. Yeah. A pawn.
Yeah. And yet that money never gets to you.
No. Why? Because they got publicity.
Yeah. People have come to us and wanted us to do some things that, quite frankly, I thought was unethical. And
with strings attached?
With strings attached. Oh, no, basically using a veteran to promote something I didn't think was in the best interest either of the community or the veteran. It would help the business, but we're not going there.
No.
Listen, we're just not going there. I'm not going to use veterans to make somebody rich. There's a couple of folks in town doing that now, and I try to be as polite as I can.
Hank? Yeah. Polite? We have about 1 minute, Hank.
Well, we'll just tell you that we're still on track. We're still working with the county to move forward. I sent out some emails. I had a meeting with Stan McLean and one of the county assistant administrators the other night. Almost, I won't say it's completely done, but we're about 98% there.
The carrot in front of the donkey.
Yeah, that's right. The construction has started, and that will be on my tombstone. The damn lease agreement will be on my tombstone. What drove me to an early grave. But, there's a lot of legal issues involved. However, we'll get there another time, and we'll tell you, we'll bring Stan in when we're done. Hey, listen, thanks for your time, thanks for your service, and God bless America, everybody.
News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. Donald Trump's expected to name his running mate tomorrow morning. The short list includes the names of 2 governors, 1 senator, and a former Speaker of the House.
We're kicking around everything from the